What's going on, people? It is Irish Gunner HD here. You can call me Irish, and welcome to episode 16 of Will It Drift. So, today's car is the Nissan 300ZX as suggested by DMI Fox. So, thanks for the suggestion, man, and let's get into it. So, as standard, it comes with 300 horsepower, 283 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 3,351 pounds. And the first thing that I noticed was there's not a lot of power. I'm always surprised when I have to say this in episodes of Will It Drift, when I have to say that there's not enough power, because in real life, 300 horsepower is more than sufficient. 283 foot-pounds of torque, more than sufficient to get a car sliding sideways, like, effectively. But in the game, as ever, it's always a bit different. So what I found was there's not a lot of power, and it wasn't being used efficiently. Surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of body roll. It's usually always like a dead cert for the stock builds. There's always a lot of body roll. Then the other things I noticed were third gear was not really an option. You didn't really ever want to go into that because you just lost drift completely. Second gear is fine enough for short corners, but then it's not able to pull itself around long sweepers, as again is usually the case in stock builds that don't have a lot of power. But there was a lot of potential. That was one thing that was definitely clear about it. It's a Nissan, obviously, and in real life, the first ever drift car I did see, well, not the first ever, but if anyone remembers the max power purple, like, 3 matching 300 ZXs that were out, like, in the 2000s, yeah, so I'm familiar with them, but, so yeah, this is the medium build. So as standard, it comes with, for the medium build, actually, it's got 407 horsepower, 342 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 2,728 pounds. And the modifications I've done are just sport camshafts, race springs, and weight reduction, and a single turbo upgrade. So, the first thing I noticed right off the bat, there was a really weird wheel wobble. Like, as if I was driving on a bumpy surface or something like that. But I clearly haven't, and I've never experienced it really before. When I first experienced it, the first thing that popped into my mind was that front wheel drive pull, but it wasn't that. It was like a weird wobbling of the car, like my MS wheel was just wobbling, and I thought it was that, but it actually wasn't. But anyway, that was one big problem that kind of ruined the medium build for me. But almost every problem from the stock car is fixed with the medium build. Third gear is still not great though, but it handles better. It handles the sweepers a good bit better. It's able to pull itself around the sweepers quite a bit better than it used to be able to. I feel like the full build is gonna just make it easier to drift more than anything, like just having the extra horsepower and stuff like that. It's not like there's no major improvements needed, but just to have a higher horsepower car with more torque and more horsepower and all that, it's nice. But the wheel wobble again kind of just ruined that medium build for me. So finally, it's got the full build, has 540 horsepower, 454 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 2,716 pounds. And it's a full build and full tune, as ever, with the full build. And the wheel wobble's gone, which is a good thing straight off the bat. Like, just that was really weird, and I don't know how to explain it. If you want to try it yourself, don't tune it, and then just add on sport cams, race springs, race weight, always mess that up, and single turbo, and try and drift this car, and just see if you notice that. But it's gone anyway for the full build, which is a good thing. Excuse me. And it's weird. It's like each stage kind of makes the gearing slightly better. Obviously, I was able to tweak it completely to my liking in the full build, but in the first stage, second was alright. In the second stage, it made it perfect, but third wasn't an option. And in the third stage, third was pretty much perfect, and fourth wasn't the best. But that was just something that I noticed about it. And then obviously, again, it's just faster and a lot easier to drift. But there was a weird element of unpredictability. Something like that wheel wobble wasn't. I don't know, it was weird, but like it's an unpredictable car. Again, I always use the R34 or S chassis like comparison thing, but that's pretty much the best thing that like I can say, because they're really reliable cars and really controllable and very predictable. But for this one, will it drift? Yes. I'm gonna say yes because like I said yes initially because I was like, yeah, well, I'm able to drift it, but then I was thinking like, I honestly think that it depends on the driver and the tune. If you're not a great driver and you're not the best tuner, I don't think you will. So technically it's a maybe, but I assume that most people that are watching this now are good enough to be able to make it work. But if you're like a noobs, point drifter, public lobby kid, whatever, I don't know if just sticking in 1,000 horsepower and putting on the world's worst tune with positive camera ever and race slicks is going to make it work. You really has to be precise about it. So I'm going to say yeah, because I did make it work, and I'm pretty certain most people can make it work. But just be careful. If you're getting new into the game and you're not getting any luck with it, don't be surprised. It's pretty difficult to use. So that's pretty much the video. I will say as a slight announcement at the end though, stay tuned if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed watching this car, stay tuned, because the next video for Forza that I'm going to be putting up is a behind the scenes at tuning this car. It's a behind the scenes of what goes into doing an episode of Will It Drift. And there's also a big announcement regarding my channel and Forza content on my channel and stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. It should be out, maybe not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow probably. One or the other. But yeah, again, if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching.